Hello, everybody, and welcome to the LFC Transfer Room YouTube page. My name is Stephen, and today we're going to run through our predicted 11 for the Premier League clash against Man City at another 12:30 p.m. kickoff, the earliest kickoff of the day for our 16th time, I believe is what it is, which is just farcical at this point. But nonetheless, we still have to play it. Same as Man City. Man City also have to play it with both teams coming off the international break and multiple players having been in performances on the international break. Although with Man City, some trickery being played there with the likes of their injury concerns, shall we say. But without further ado, let us get into the predicted 11. But before we get into the predicted 11, I actually do want to say, please do like and subscribe. That way it helps the channel so much. We're just over 9,800 subscribers at the moment. I'm trying to get to 10,000 hopefully before the next transfer window, which will be in January. So if you can at all, please do like and subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later if you want to. If you're enjoying the content, please leave a like on the video. And if you also have subscribed and liked, just make sure that bell notification is on for all future streams and all future videos such as this one. We're live every day from 7:30 p.m. UK time, and we will be live after the game on Saturday at about 2:30 UK time, 2:30 p.m. UK time, between 2:30 UK and 2:45 UK time. We'll be live again with a post-match reaction, hopefully celebrating us being on top of the league. So let's get into this predicted 11. Now, it's an interesting one because, again, we're coming off an international break, so it's going to be different than what I would ideally like and what I ideally think will be our strongest 11, but there may be some wiggle room for some players here and there. So starting in goal, we have Alisson Becker. Realistically, I don't see any other option. While he did play for Brazil, a keeper is usually one that can come back from an international break and still be fine. It's not like somebody that's in the middle of midfield or up front with the front three and is constantly running. Now, he did play both full games for Brazil. Obviously, he's a goalkeeper. It is to be expected. But I can't see us pick. There's nobody else that we would pick anyway, regardless of whether Alisson played or Alisson didn't play. So I'd keep him in there as our number one. He's the best number one in the world at the moment. He's probably one of the best number ones to ever play the game, and we're just so lucky to have him. I can't see how we go with anybody else in this particular game, especially a game of this magnitude. Then we get into our back four and our two centre backs. On the left hand side, I have Virgil van Dijk. While he did play for most of the game against Gibraltar during the week, he was subbed off at about half time, which is very good for us. It means he should be well refreshed and rested for our trip to the Etihad on Saturday. So I would have him as our left-sided centre back. Then when it comes to our right-sided centre-back, there are injury concerns in relation to Konate. He's been out for a little while. It's been about 9-10 days since we last spoke about him with regards to his injury, but it did say 2 weeks, so I'm not counting him being available or fit for this game. I would then instead put Joel Matip in place. Joel Matip is a big game performer. He can step up in the big games, and his performances the past couple of weeks have sort of given me a newfound confidence in him. So I can see him starting there, and I'd like to see him starting there. I think he's earned it, and until Konate is back and fully fit, to be honest, even when Konate is back and fully fit, I think Konate needs to know that he needs to fight for his spot. His injury concerns are something that's left to be desired. Availability is the best ability, and Joel Matip, similarly enough, has had issues like that previously. But let's hope iron sharpens iron, and they both sort out these injury concerns and continue to progress. Now we get to our fullbacks. So on our right-hand side, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, what the tactics are going to be with him, whether he's going to invert in possession and come back out of possession, I don't know. I hope we don't invert when in possession. I think he's best in the flat back four that we have, and maybe progressing the ball up the right-hand side, maybe moving into the middle a little bit on the back line rather than inverting up in the CDM role. I think that may catch us out. Especially if Man City decide to play Jeremy Doku down that side of the pitch. I think Trent isn't the best with dealing with good guys that are good at dribbling, so that would leave me a small bit concerned on the defensive side of it, but I have all the faith in the world with how Trent can distribute the ball that he will create chances for us. So I would like to see him starting as our right-sided fullback or right back. Then when we get to our left back situation, there was concerns earlier in the week that Kostas Tsimikas may have suffered an injury due to pulling out of the Greece's latest game, but it was confirmed by Kostas himself that the reason he did pull out of that Greek game was purely down to threat of suspension if he got a yellow card. So he just left the international duty, came home early, so he should be fully rested up. Following a great performance last time out in the Premier League with 2 assists, you'd hope that his form continues and maybe he bags another one here, but we're expecting a big game from Kostas Tsimikas this week, and hopefully he can deliver like he did last week. Moving into the midfield is where we get to some changes. Thankfully, Curtis Jones is back fit with the team. I say back fit with the team. There has been concerns with his injuries and that he picked up a little knock prior to the international break, similarly with Ryan Gravenberch. But with Alexis McAllister coming back from international duty against Brazil, especially following the mental strain that would have been on that game, considering the attacks on the fans during the Brazil and Argentina game. Realistically, I don't see McAllister starting. So my central defensive midfielder, if he is fit, would be Ryan Gravenberch. I'd play him in the 6th role. I would then have Curtis Jones, again, if he is fit, up on the left-sided centre midfielder, and we would have Dominic Szoboszlai as our right-sided centre midfielder. Now, if Jones and Gravenberch are not fit, I would much rather see the likes of a Harvey Elliott or maybe even an Endo participate, even in a small format. And if we're playing Endo, I'd like to see Trent invert. That means then he can just give him an extra little bit of support on the break before falling back into his main defensive role as a right back. But if everybody is fit, I would like to see Ryan Gravenberch and Curtis Jones there in that centre midfield alongside Dominic Szoboszlai. Then we get to our front 3, and with our front 3, we have a couple of guys coming back from international duty again. With up the middle, I would essentially be starting Cody Gakpo. Gakpo scored over the international break, so maybe he's found a bit of form. Darwin Núñez did bag 2 or 3 in total, should I say, 2 in his last game for Uruguay. However, he was subbed off in the 71st minute of the last game. Realistically, with the travel coming back, I don't see him playing a major role in this game, unfortunately. I do see him possibly coming on in the 60th or 70th minute when tired legs are there. It'd be the perfect time for him to come on and cause some havoc, as he's so well known for. But to start the game, it's probably going to be Cody Gakpo, and I think that'd be the better option rather than rushing Darwin Núñez back and him losing his legs at halftime. There's no point in that. I'd rather him come on in the 60th or the 70th minute for the last half an hour, 20 minutes of the game and run their tired backline ragged. Because City's backline is a little bit suspect in this game due to injuries as well. Not the fake ones like Haaland is pulling, but there are some injuries that are there. And as we've seen with the Chelsea game, they are susceptible to goals being scored. So I can very easily see a goal being netted here in the final third of the match. On the right-hand side, then, I would have Mo Salah. He tore up the international duty this last week with 4 goals in 1 game. He's phenomenal. I can't see how we don't pick him as our right winger. That's probably him and Alisson and Virgil van Dijk are probably the 3 automatic starters in any 11 that we have. Realistically, Trent can be thrown into that too. But yeah, they'd be the 4 starters that I have no question about will be starting every game. He's on a wicked run of form. He's scoring and assisting for fun, and I can see it continuing in this game as well. With then on the left-hand side, I'd have Diogo Jota, purely because, again, similarly to Núñez, Luis Diaz, who has scored a couple of goals over his international break this last weekend. He got subbed off in the 81st minute with Colombia, but again, the travel back, all of those issues with the travel back and forth, it's all well and good saying it for Alisson, but Alisson just gets to stand between the sticks, and it's more of a mental issue for him rather than a physical issue. But I have no doubts about Alisson. With the likes of a winger, or even a number 9 like Núñez and Diaz will be respectively. I'd like to see him come on in like the 60th or the 70th minute when there's tired legs on that back line and take it to Man City. Even if we're up by a goal or 2, I'd still like them guys to come on and maybe get a 3rd or a 4th or whatever it may be and seal the game. Wishful thinking, considering Man City are one of the best defenses in the league at the moment, but with considering expected goals, but with what we've seen with Chelsea, if you get at Man City and put pressure on them, goals will come. And if Chelsea can score 4 against them, I believe our front three can score a couple against them as well and sit us at the top of the Premier League after the international break. It'll be absolutely fantastic. But there we have it. That is our starting 11. We have Alisson in goal. We have Van Dijk and Joel Matip as our centre backs. We have Kostas Tsimikas and Trent Alexander-Arnold as our wing backs. We have a centre midfield of Ryan Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, and Dominic Szoboszlai, provided all are fit. We haven't heard any updates as of yet, but obviously press conferences on Friday will tell us more. And then we have a front three, again, because of travel back from South America. We have Jota on the left, we have Gakpo up the middle, and we have Mo Salah on the right. And hopefully that's the team that leads us to the top of the Premier League come Sunday morning, and it'll be absolutely glorious to see. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. As I mentioned at the start of the video, it helps us so much and it really progresses the channel further. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, hopefully by the end of the next transfer window. So if you've done that already, thank you so much. Please make sure to have your bell notification on for all future videos. And yeah, that's our predicted 11 for our Manchester City matchup at the Etihad this weekend. So let's hope for a good game. Let's hope for a couple of goals, an exciting game. To be honest, I'm lying. I hope we put 3 past them and kill this game at halftime. I want nothing else. I don't want a stressful game up until the 90th and a 90-minute winner. I want Mo Salah to bag a hat-trick and just put the game to bed at halftime, and we can sit, chill, and relax and enjoy a couple of drinks while watching it. So yeah, hopefully the game goes well at the weekend, and I hope that everybody shows up to our post-game stream at about 2:30, 2:45 UK time, where we can all celebrate being top of the league. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any other ideas that you want us to do, put them down in the comments below. And yeah, I've been Stephen. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a lovely day.